Hey everybody, Josh the Tile Guy here again. Today we're going to talk about which tiles you can use on the floor and which tiles you can use on the wall. This one's not as hard as it seems, but you can make mistakes that I'm going to help you avoid. Now when it comes to wall tiles, pretty much anything goes. Anything that you can put on the floors, you can put on the walls. So that's easy, right? With floor tiles, it's a little more difficult because there are certain tiles that you want to avoid using on the floors altogether. Where are you installing your tile? Living rooms, kitchens, bathrooms? It matters. So let's talk about bathrooms first. If you're installing floor tile on a bathroom, you really want to stay away from polished tiles. Think of getting out of the shower with wet feet, hitting that polished tile. You're going to take a spill you don't want to take. Also, certain tiles just aren't rated to be used on the floors. The manufacturing process doesn't lend to letting it be used on the floors because the floors take much more of a punishment than walls do. Also, there are certain tiles that you just want to avoid on the floors altogether. Some tiles, like this glass mosaic tile, you just want to avoid using on the floors altogether. I mean, you can think of 100 reasons not to use glass tile on the floor. This is decorative. You can use it as an accent band somewhere or do an accent wall somewhere. It would look beautiful. For the most part, mosaics are going to be used on the walls, but you can find nice ways to use mosaic tiles on the floors. If you're installing a nice shower, sometimes mosaics are a great option if they're rated for the floors. The reason is, if you're standing in the shower, mosaics have more grout joints because they're smaller tiles. So what that means is you're less likely to slip and fall in your shower. Another thing to keep in mind is that quality matters, both with wall tiles and floor tiles. It's important to understand what you're getting when you pay for tile, and we talked about that in a video that we'll post up here. Now, one thing I have here is two different types of subway tiles. These are very popular for backsplashes, accent walls, shower walls, all types of things. They may look the same on the surface, but there's a difference here. This is a white-bodied glazed tile. This is a red-bodied glazed tile. The red bodies are going to be more durable. But if you're using this in your home, you're really not going to notice a difference. I recommend saving the money and going with the white-bodied. It's about a third the cost of these red-bodied quarry glazed tiles, and they look pretty much the same. All right, let's talk a little bit about mosaics. Now, we mentioned you can use these in the floors in certain situations if the tile is rated for floors. But most of the time, you're going to be using this as an accent. Maybe it's a backsplash. Maybe it's a band in your shower. Maybe it's a whole wall in your shower. Typically, you're not going to do an entire shower with a mosaic because mosaics are pretty dang expensive. So if this is a project you're doing yourself and you want to use mosaics as an accent, you got to keep one important thing in mind: thickness difference. If you put this subway tile next to this glass mosaic tile, you can see there's a big difference in the thickness of that tile, and you want everything to be nice and flush and flat and finished and look like a pro did it. And we'll get into that in a later video and show you how to install mosaic accent bands and make them look the same thickness as your fill tile. One misconception for a lot of DIYers is that mosaics are easy to install because they're on a sheet, right? Just throw the sheets up there. Well, that's very far from the truth. And again, you get what you pay for. If you're spending $12 or $15 a square foot on a mosaic, you're typically going to get a high quality mosaic, which means that every tile is mounted on there and it's pretty square and straight and nice and lined up. If you're spending $3 to $5 a square foot on a mosaic tile, you're probably going to have a lot of wonky tiles in there, and that's going to be very difficult to make look right as you're installing it. So I know I said that you can use pretty much any tile that's rated for floors on the walls, and that's true, but sometimes it's a little more difficult. One thing to keep in mind that we talked about in a previous video is ceramic tiles. If you want to use this ceramic tile on the walls, it can look excellent. But one thing to keep in mind, this is a red-bodied ceramic tile. So if you put this on your wall, you're going to see this exposed edge, and that may not be the look that you want. So plan ahead, get some sort of a bullnose if they make it, or you can use some sort of a metal trim piece to help finish that off to give it a nice clean look. Another thing to keep in mind if you're going to use a floor tile on the walls is a lot of times they're quite a bit larger than, say, your subway tiles and your mosaics. Well, those can be difficult to install. So if you're going to install a large floor tile as your wall tile, I recommend using a leveling system. And today's video is actually sponsored by AccuFloor. AccuFloor is a company that was created by contractors for contractors. They know what kind of tools you want because it's the kind of tools that they want. Head over to www.accufloor.com and use promo code JOSH to save 10%. And remember, as always, you get free shipping on orders over $150. If you like this video, please like and subscribe down below and head back for more content later. Thank you.